Welcome, everybody, to the Town Board meeting of Tuesday, October 29, 2019. And we're starting off with a very special appointment tonight. We have our Every Person is Connected committee, and they've been doing incredible work over the past couple of years. And we have a new program suggested by Jackie McCarthy, and our EPIC ambassadors. And tonight we're going to be appointing our EPIC ambassadors to be members of the Every Person is Connected committee. So it's really an honor for all of us to make this appointment, and we're glad that you guys were able to come here tonight. And we're sorry for keeping you waiting, but we really feel that you're going to have a vital role in this town to be ambassadors for the Every Person is Connected committee. Just like you guys did at the book festival, which was incredible, and all the other work you've been doing around town, it's really great. So we thank you for your efforts, and it's really our honor to appoint you all tonight to be EPIC ambassadors. So, we have a resolution? We do have a resolution.
Well, first we're going to do authorize the program.
Yes. Oh, yes, please. We're going to set up the program first with the resolution, and then we're going to appoint the members.
Okay, so I move to authorize the creation of the EPIC Ambassador Program as part of the Every Person is Connected committee. EPIC ambassadors are kids, teens, and adults with special needs who live in our community and volunteer their time to be our advocates for inclusion. Their role is to participate in town and school events, to shine the spotlight on their abilities, and show how inclusion can work more robustly in our community.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And now we're going to appoint members to be EPIC ambassadors.
I don't have that resolution.
Oh.
Is this it, though?
Well, those are the names.
I don't have the names in the resolution, we can do it.
We can do it from the, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I move to currently appoint Brady McCarthy, Mary Grace Sullivan, is this right?
Yep.
Nicholas Ning, Henry Alt, Jonah Schumacher, and Kevin O'Brien to be the first of the ambassadors in the EPIC Ambassador Program.
Second.
Can we take a picture?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's take a picture. Is that okay? Everybody come on up. Come up. Yeah. What do you want to do? I don't think we have enough room up here.
Should we come down? Or?
I think we should go
We
down.
should go down, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's stay right up here.
Okay, sure, right in front.
Mike out of the way.
Oh, I love your shirts, look at this.
They are great. They are great. I think their shirts are epic.
Oh, John.
We got Nick, you know.
Don't take a picture. You're definitely not getting it.
Squeeze in. Oh, I'm not getting in the picture.
Congratulations.
I probably belong in it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Brady, my man.
Thank you so much. Oh, we're going this way.
Oh, we're gonna switch ways.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, I did get you.
Price is nice.
Squeeze in. Want to just squeeze a little tighter so we're not.
Stand next to this guy.
Yeah, I mean, you need to get it in there.
Slip right here a little.
Mary Grace, you want to come stand in
Yeah,
front?
come,
Yeah.
yeah. For height wise.
Can you move a little to the center?
Yeah.
Mr.
Come
McCarthy.
this way, you're not blocking. You're not blocking.
1, 2, 3. Epic.
EPIC ambassadors.
Another one. 1, 2, 3. Epic.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good job. I gotta get you guys a real shirt, too.
Well, that's good. That's good. It works.
That looks really sharp.
It works. I like
That's a
that.
real shirt. So clever.
Thank you so much for your service.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much for your service.
Yep, that's it.
Good to meet you. Thank you for your service. Come by for coffee.
Ellen and Jackie.
Yeah, we can do that. That's just one of our normal resolutions. We can do that now if you want. Yeah, okay.
Okay, we'll do that one too. While we're on the subject.
100%. Well, they can put in the request. You guys know you can put in a request for money for the T-shirts.
Yeah, we do all taken care of. Yep.
Okay, good.
Okay.
All right, great.
Okay, and while we're on the subject, I move to appoint Jackie McCarthy and Ellen Ning as members of the Every Person's Connected Committee for a 2-year term effective October 30th, 2019.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye. Okay,
terrific.
The request for the spelling bee, and then they can.
Should we do the spelling bee?
We can also do a spelling bee, we'll keep it going.
That's good.
You guys should start throwing some
It's
stuff
always
on
claps
now.
are great. You don't get claps.
And some stuff.
We are doing spelling bee actually.
Well, yeah, I know.
Right.
We do, but you need us to pay for it, so we're gonna pay for it.
All right.
The town's gonna pay for it.
So I move to authorize the payment for team registration for the Epic Ambassadors to participate and win the Horace Greeley Scholarship Fund Spelling Bee in the amount of $300.
Favor? Aye. Good
I
luck.
feel so good. What else can we approve
Let's practice with the spelling, let's give you a word.
And just to let you know that the EPIC committee and the EPIC ambassador is going to be hosting a holiday party on December 15th from 2 to 4 at the community center. So you'll be getting more information about that.
nice.
But microphone.
So people at home could hear it.
Sorry. So that's December 15th, Sunday, 2 to 4 at the community center. The EPIC ambassadors, as representatives of the EPIC committee, will be hosting a holiday party in order for the EPIC ambassadors to introduce themselves to the community and to also to invite other families with children and adults with special needs to find out what the EPIC ambassador program is all about, to encourage other people to join.
Great.
Great.
And you'll send me something for the newsletter.
Will do.
I've added it in.
Thank you. Okay, well, thank you all for
Thank you very
coming.
much.
Apologize for keeping everybody waiting.
No, it's okay.
Have a good night, good luck with the spelling bee.
Yeah, it's really hard.
We didn't do so well a couple of years ago.
Wait, what, you think you guys competed?
We did it 2 years ago, we
You
didn't do
guys
so
will be
well.
much better than we were.
I was
We gave up after a
terrible.
while.
Yeah.
You can't get worse than me.
Perfect. Compete against English teachers, I need to mention.
It's true, good
It's
points.
true, it's true. Rigged.
It is rigged. All right, take care. Okay, great. All right.
You guys clap for us too.
Yeah, someone claps. Wait, hang
Well, actually, let me just do a couple of quick announcements. It's not a big deal, but for people at home. Tomorrow, downtown trick-or-treating, hopefully it doesn't rain too much, 1 to 5. We have the Newcastle Holocaust Memorial Unveiling, which is, I'm sorry, that is Thursday, October 31st.
Yes.
Or you can go tomorrow and see what happens.
Tomorrow is Wednesday. Okay, our Newcastle Holocaust Memorial Unveiling is scheduled for next Wednesday, November 6th at 6 p.m. And we'll have the town board meeting after it at 7. There's a couple of nice events for veterans on November 11th. The Newcastle Historic Society is hosting a Meet Our Local Veterans program at the Millwood Firehouse. And that'll be on Monday, November 11th at 2 p.m. And then there's also the 10th Annual Complimentary Veterans Breakfast, which is Tuesday, November 12th, at the Hilton Westchester in Rybrook, and that's from 10 to 11:30. And the Newcastle Recreation Department will provide transportation for Newcastle veterans. And our ribbon cutting for the streetscape, which is really more just like a festival, is scheduled for Saturday, November 16th. And that's pretty much it for the announcements. We have our volunteer appreciation dinner tomorrow night, and looking forward to that to say thank you to all our wonderful volunteers. And Kiri did a great job organizing it this year, helping to organize it, and thank you. And John Ehrlich is going to be leaving the meeting right now.
I've never seen you got that excited.
Okay. You want to do administrator's report or anything? No, you don't have to, it doesn't matter. Keep
Real
moving.
quick, just 2 quick things. The Dogwood Water Main Replacement Project has started. Town's Water Department is replacing the old substandard water line with an upgraded water main on Dogwood Road in Kisco Park, and the project is expected to take several months. And lastly, the Inningwood Pump Station project is ongoing. The new pump with the newly forged wet-end pump has been installed and is currently being tested. The existing pump is fully operational, and the pump station is scheduled to be operational on November 9th, when New York City DEP switches over from the Catskill Delaware Reservoir to the Croton Reservoir.
Okey dokies. All right, our resolutions.
Before we go to the resolution, I just want to address a couple of things in relation to the Summit Greenfield. It's continued public hearing for November 26th. When we were looking at the numbers that we had for decrease in the school size and their request for an increase in 9 units that would go up to 3 bedrooms and from 2, and the finished basement. What I had said before was district-wide certainly is relevant, but we want to look at Grafflin specifically because that's the elementary school that will bear the biggest burden. Right now, there's 443 students at Grafflin, 394 at Roaring Brook, and 413 at West Orchard. And looking at where we are currently, just as a snapshot, this is probably the worst, for lack of a better term. The first grade enrollment at Grafflin is 89, with 5 sections, with 5 sections. There are 2 grades at Grafflin that have 5 sections where there's none at Roaring Brook. There's just 4 classes each, and there's none at West Orchard, with just 4 classes each. But there's already 2 5 classrooms, so in other words, they have the most students. According to the school website, or the information provided by the school, first grade enrollment, according to them, is expected to go from 89 now for 2018-19, and they have from 1920 103. So now that's 20.6 students per class as opposed to 17.8 students per class. Total enrollment from 443 to 479, whereas Roaring Brook is 394 to 406, and West Orchard is 413 to 423. So you're already seeing an increase at Grafflin, and my concern is, and we can discuss this more further, and I'm sorry I'm not looking up, I'm looking at numbers here. There are already 5 sections per the kindergarten and the first grade. It's already the biggest school district, if you want to call it that. We're already adding more students with the Chapco Crossing. There needs to just be more of a communication with the school district to specifically make sure that any increase in housing stock in terms of size, they can handle that. And I'm sure they'll want more students because overall the district is not getting bigger. It just happens to fall on the shoulders of Grafflin. So I just think we all need to be cognizant of that when we're making our decision and understanding that it already is a packed, relatively speaking, compared to the other schools.
We're not making a decision today, though.
100%. I just
And
wanted to
I think-
address that.
I agree with you, and I think we have a lot more discussion about all these topics, environmental, everything else too. So I think
Just so
we've
you guys,
got
just so you know, this
it's
is
a little bit of a road.
This is not this.
the housing was already approved. We do have some changes, and if you guys don't want to give them basements so that this empty nesters can have space for storage, that's your decision. And most of the people that are going to live here are empty nesters. You know, the school just put 21 acres around the block from me on the market because their enrollment is down. Those are all going to be young families. They're going to go to West Orchard. That's good. That's what keeps the cycle going. I have 4 new families just moved into my neighborhood. We actually have little teeny kids now on our street, which is fantastic. Also, it's going to be $2 million in tax revenue for the school and about $450,000 for the town. So that's what keeps your town going, is attracting young families. And the truth is, with these townhomes, you're going to get a lot of empty nesters, because Toll Brothers knows exactly what they're doing. They're going to get a lot of empty nesters that are going to move into these. They're going to vacate houses all throughout Newcastle, and you're going to get young families moving there, and it's going to be distributed to all the schools. Now, we could stop. We could stop. We could not do any development in downtown. We could not do any more schools, and we could pretend this is an old problem that most towns have moved away from. Most towns want young families now. They're not afraid of the kids. We are living in the past. We need to have young families move to us. This is a problem that was a nice little argument 10 years ago. It is no longer an argument that most towns are looking at. They're
That's-
fighting over families.
That is.
Time out, and I wanna put words in Lisa's
Oh my
mouth,
God.
all I am saying, and I think you agree, is we have to look at these numbers, it's not a fight, it's not a dispute, these are just a simple,
The
they're
housing was
simple
approved
numbers.
already, it was approved
You're,
already.
you're correct,
And,
no one.
and the numbers you
excuse me,
quote
Paula,
All we're
are
doing
not
tonight are
total,
making
are
some
total
referrals.
numbers, not the
100%.
incremental revenue for changes. So the incremental revenue for changes is not 2.5 million.
Who do you think are gonna live in these houses in downtown Chapaka that we're all talking
Time,
about the zoning?
We don't need to argue about this now. I mean, the
it's
planning
not an
board is
argument.
still looking at it.
Kids that live in these
It's not an
houses.
argument, this is
The
just,
point here is just making sure that we have CCSD involvement and
Correct.
eyes
$2
on
million
whatever
involvement is
approval
involvement.
Right.
needs to move
we
forward
have to
in
do our
order
due
to know which
diligence,
veterans
and
to
when
remember.
we're discussing numbers, it doesn't matter to a certain extent
It's not.
somewhere else, we're looking at numbers in this particular school, and I know that families are already anxious when there's 5 classes or 5 sections, and
And
they're
then they
still
open up
already
another one.
large. No, we'd like to
You
think
get
that
$2
would
million,
that.
when you get $2
So-
million in tax revenues, that's what you do.
Well, so I'll end it by saying this, the point of this is just to make sure that we are having conversations, and they are the planning board, whomever in the school is involved in that process, with the change, not with the approval, no one is looking to change an approval, just being advised and informed and aware, so that an educated decision can be made. Period, that's it, it's not a fight.
I
It's not a
I
fight.
agree 100%. I just
not
also
a
want you
fight,
guys to
Rob.
understand that with the zoning in downtown Chappaqua, that everybody's talking about this zoning, which is a great conversation. 2 things we have to worry about. One is, obviously, it has to be practical, so that building owners are actually gonna do it, and so, you know, that's important to make it realistic. But the second thing is, there's gonna be kids that are moving in down there. So like, and those kids are gonna go to our school, and this is the reality of the situation.
It'd
You're
also
gonna
be
constantly
baffling, too.
You want young families,
Yes.
you want them to live all throughout town.
Yes.
And that's what we should want, and we also, if you look at our comprehensive plan, we want people to be able to age in place, and that's exactly what we're building at Chapaka Crossing. And these people are gonna wanna have basements for their storage, they're gonna wanna have recreation
Yes.
rooms for their grandchildren to come. Toll Brothers knows exactly what they're doing,
Yes,
you know, so like, all I'm saying is, I'm not
disagreeing
I'm
with
just,
you.
the numbers, all I'm saying is that the numbers are distributed. To say that it's all gonna be going to Grafflin, I think it's looking at it in a vacuum. The point is, there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna vacate their current homes and move to Chapaka Crossing, and then young families are gonna move in. I just think the numbers are gonna go throughout the whole town. That's my point.
Backfill those.
Downtown
But they
Chapaka
may
is
not
gonna
be-
be,
right.
It's going to be in Grafflin.
Right, they may not be
They
Grafflin
have,
homes that are being vacated.
that's what I'm talking about, it's all
It's
going
certainly
throughout town, because
possible.
people wanna live in
It's cer-
town.
it's certainly, and I'm not, the point again, the point is, you're right, no one is saying we're voting on this now. I'm just making clear because we had this conversation and I've addressed this before. I forwarded this a couple weeks ago and this is the next opportunity to discuss it. I wanted to mention that this is just an issue that we need to make sure we're cognizant of. That is it, it's not a fight, it's not a battle, it's just a statement of fact.
All I'm saying is that I just don't think it's, I just think we need to look at the town as a whole and not worry about any one district, because I don't think, I think you're looking at it in a vacuum when you do that. I think you have to look at the whole town as a whole. There's developments going on
I want
everywhere.
the school, I just want to,
Well,
I
that's
want
why
the
the
school.
school's gonna be involved, because
Thank
my
you.
understanding
I want
is
the school
actually
to
that
make sure-
enrollment's going down, so they may actually welcome that. And if
Correct.
they need to, they can figure out how to
Correct.
distribute
And-
kids or
and-
whatever.
I
Your
can
enrollment-
tell you the
Correct.
development
So
that's
it
gone
may
on in
not be bad.
Ossining is actually beginning to cripple the school.
Well, let's
It's
not.
the other way around, so you need to actually manage the development
Well,
with
right,
a
but this
plan.
development's already been
There's an
approved.
article-
No,
there's an article in the
I'm
paper
not
today that I
questioning this
forwarded to you
development
guys.
because it's approved the way it is.
Yeah,
They're asking
exactly.
for 9 additional bedrooms.
There's an article,
Yeah,
there's an
which is
article,
bad.
there's an article in the paper today that I forwarded to you guys, that the school district is selling 20 acres around the block from me, which was once a location, possible location for a middle school, and they got their planning board subdivision after years, and now they're putting it on the market, and there's gonna be 5 or 6 new families moving in there, and they're gonna go to West Orchard, they're gonna go to Seven Bridges, and then they're gonna go to Greeley High School. You know, that's it, and there's gonna be plenty of people in my neighborhood who are gonna wind up moving to, not plenty of people, but there's gonna be some people that move to Chapaka
We're
Crossing.
spinning in circles. The whole point was what I was trying to make, which I think is clear, is we just have to make sure the school is involved and they know their work and what they're doing by far more than we do. They are the school district. But looking at the numbers, I want to make sure that they are part, they have not been, at least not physically here, part of that conversation. They may have been part of the conversation outside, but not when we've sat here with the planning board and discussed these changes. That's it, that's it, that's it.
But today, we're just referring it.
That's all we're doing. We continue our public hearing.
Resolutions?
Public comment.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Public comment? Oh, God, these guys are bad.
Here's our very special,
Got your Halloween
very special
costume?
bags that we got.
It's his Halloween costume.
No,
know, a lot of people know that I'm definitely in the bag. No, but one of the things we're trying to do as residents is to help each other all the time and to improve our convenience within the town. I'm going to bring up a new subject. As you know, the Recycle Center is open from Wednesday to Saturday, limited hours. It's open from 10:30, I believe, to 2:30, something like that, on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So what happens if you want to buy a bag on a Monday? Or let's talk about convenience here. I mean, it's always a good thing to go to the little street that the recycle center is on. Wouldn't it make lots more sense for us to handle the bags in a slightly different way? What I wanted to speak to you about today and to propose for thought and eventual change is, suppose we didn't just sell these wonderful bags at the recycle center. Suppose we actually brought the transaction to a place like Town Hall, or even other places, or conceivably even DeChico's. We're going to cover it now, just for the benefit of the folks at home. These bags cost retail 65 cents. Now, a lot of people compare this and say, well, that's expensive for a bag. They're forgetting that these bags are 25% larger than the typical bag. They hold things, they don't break as easily. They're still made of paper, completely recyclable. And why I'm saying that is because they say, well, I don't want to buy the town bags. I mean, I'm paying too much money. Well, the difference between 30 and 40 is a lot. And this, so what I'm going to propose today is this. You consider selling these bags at somewhere in Town Hall, and I'm going to suggest perhaps where we pay our, because they handle cash, where they pay the parking tickets and fines, perhaps. Now they're going to say, oh, how are you going to get the bags over there? Because they're on a skid and stuff like that. Well, got to figure out your volume. But if you're going to buy 100 bags, for example, which that's 2 bags per week you're going to go to, that's a grand total of $65. It's not a lot of money. So what I'm going to ask this board to consider is having locations where these bags are available. We'll figure out a way of getting the bags into town hall, and so they're out. And most people don't buy 50, like I do. They buy 10. And 10 bags is not a real big deal to do. You can handle it at checkout. We can handle it in town. So what I'd like to propose today is to consider a new thing to do this and to handle it. I've asked certain people, both at the recycling center, what their thoughts were on this. I also talked to some administrators, some clerks and things. Would it be a problem? What would they consider to be a problem? And basically I heard nothing but favorable stuff. The only issue I said is, how are you going to get the skid? And I was trying to explain, you don't really have to go get the skid. We can figure out what the volume will be and to sell it. So please, I hope we consider this. Thank you very much for your time and your effort. I want to thank this board also very much for the things that they've been doing on other projects. Chappaqua Crossing has come along very nicely. Communication has been great. They've been sending us emails when they're going to stripe things and do it. It's already working. You've managed the traffic flow much better by putting the additional lane. And I think it's important that we all comment favorably on things that are working. And I think it'll be excellent. Also, I just in view of the discussion that just went on, I just want to have people calculate how far it is for somebody at Chappaqua Crossing to get to the Roaring Brook School compared to getting folks to the wonderful establishment that used to be our high school downtown. We'll do it. Now, also, I wanted to consider Millwood is enormously important, and DeChico's has really livened up the area and done some very good things. So I just want to thank folks for doing this. I want to remind everybody that parking is a problem. Please exercise a little consideration for your neighbors. And it's so nice to see people going to places like Whole Foods and the Chico's. And thank you to this board for making this possible. So, I'll take my bag.
Yeah, I think that's a big clap.
Resolutions? Resolutions?
Let's do it.
Yep.
Ready?
By the way, they spelled Newcastle wrong on that. No. Joke. Yeah, exactly. We took it from there.
We got a surplus, we got this good.
I move to approve the payment of claims in the amount of, did we resolve the ELQ payment? Was this included?
No, we never really talked about it yet.
We
We're
haven't
gonna go
talked
back to executive session, we'll
Right,
cut
but
it short.
This does not.
Does not include the payment.
It does not? Okay. I move to approve the payment of claims in the amount of $105,311.54 listed on the summary pre-check writing report and detailed voucher detailed report, each prepared on October 29th, 2019. Checks will be issued and mailed to each claimant listed on Wednesday, October 30th, 2019.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I move to refer the petition of SG Chappaqua B LLC for various amendments dated October 24th, 2019 to the Newcastle Planning Board in the Westchester County Planning Department for comment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I move to set a public hearing regarding the petition of SG Chappaqua B LLC for various amendments for Tuesday, November 26th at 7:30 p.m. in the Assembly Room of Town Hall at 200 South Greeley Avenue, Chappaqua.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Go ahead, I move to approve the Chappaqua Performing Arts Center facility regulations and event rental agreement as revised.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I move to award a mini bid 191001111 for a 2020 Ford F-150 pickup from the water unit of the DPW to the lowest bidder to Bayer Ford LLC in the amount of $27,165.24.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I move toward a mini bid 191001110 for a 2020 Ford Escape for the water unit of the DPW to the lowest bidder to Bayer Ford LLC in the amount of $27,535.86.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I move toward a mini bid 191000039 for a 2020 Ford F-350 regular cab for the same water unit from the same LLC in the amount of $47,964.80.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So we skipping 8 or do we do 8?
Skip 8.
We're skipping
No.
8?
No, we do 8 because we already.
No, we talked about this last time. Yep. I move to approve change order number 32 for ELQ Industries in the amount of $51,195.44 for caulking sidewalk joints.
Second.
Board, can we, before we vote on that, that's a not to
C.
exceed maximum.
Okay, yes, not to exceed maximum.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. So sorry about that. I move to approve an expense of Newcastle United for Youth for the Student Assistance Services Corporation in the amount of $1,170.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I move to declare the following vehicle as surplus to be sold at auction. 2007 GMC model 5500, unit number Rec 11, dump truck.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I move to release 2 street opening permit bonds, number 2017-002 and number 2017-0018 to Tavo Holdings LLC from Mount Kisco, New York, for work performed at 19 Heathcote Drive in the amount of $900 and $1,343 respectively. And a third street opening permit bond, number 2017-0003 to Tavo Realty of Mount Kisco, for work performed at 19 Heathcote Drive in the amount of $900. All work has been completed to the town's satisfaction.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I move to reappoint Mark Ellis and Kyle Beth Hilfer for a 3-year term, effective retroactively, beginning July 7th, 2019, through July 6th, 2022, and this is for the Ethics Committee.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We did this next one
We
already.
did that.
Yep.
All right.
So you're on the Holocaust,
Oh, okay.
Human Rights Committee.
I move to adopt the following resolution, which is a resolution to authorize to establish the Newcastle Holocaust and Human Rights Committee. So now therefore be it resolved that the town board establishes the Holocaust and Human Rights Committee, which will be comprised of 12 members, consisting of 10 members and 2 student members, and shall initially serve for 2 years following the date of this adoption of this resolution. Be it further resolved that the members of the Holocaust and Human Rights Committee shall be appointed by the town board, with 1 or more members being designated by the town board to serve as chairperson or co-chairperson of the committee as the town board may determine is appropriate. Be it further resolved that the following residents are hereby appointed to serve as members and co-chairpersons of the Holocaust and Human Rights Committee: Alexander Rosenberg and Stacy Sanitz.
Science.
Science.
It's a tough one. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The next one we're gonna hold as we are continuing to analyze the bids that came in. Thank you.
And then also, we did the next one with the ambassador program already.
No, just
We
a
did spelling bee,
conference.
we did already.
Number 7.
Move to authorize recycling foreman to attend the new, not the old, food scraps recycling law, organic recyclers and municipality stakeholder meeting on Monday, November 18th, 2020, from 1 to 4 p.m. at the New York State Department of Conservation in Albany, New York. The conference,
2020?
2019.
it says 2020 here.
No,
I just read it.
It was not
Not thinking
challenging
through.
your reading ability, I was challenging our writing.
This great year of our supervisor, 2019. The conference is free of charge, however, travel expenses will be reimbursed at costs.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to adjourn?
No, well, we're adjourning.
Executive session, it's up to
Oh,
you.
Yeah, we
motion
should-
to adjourn to executive session?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Oh, to discuss matters of personnel contracts and
Vice
advice of counsel.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.